For accommodation fitted with hot shower, free internet, smart washrooms, and delicious meals, welcome to Imani Guest House. We also offer conference facilities, restaurant services, and serene gardens for events such as weddings, graduation ceremonies, and seminars. Located 1 kilometer from Kitale Airstrip, Imani Guest House Garden and Restaurant is opposite St. Joseph's Boys High School on Kitale-Webuye Highway. Contact us on 0713-093-354 or email itv@imaniradio.org. Visit our website www.imaniradio.org for more. Imani Guest House Restaurant and Garden, home away from home. For accommodation fitted with hot shower, free internet, smart washrooms, and delicious meals, welcome to Imani Guest House. We also offer conference facilities, restaurant services, and serene gardens for events such as weddings, graduation ceremonies, and seminars.
Very good evening to you wherever you are. Thank you so much for watching Imani Television, the #1 TV station that builds your faith in Jesus Christ. Welcome to News Hour, today being the 8th day of the month of May. I hope you had a lovely weekend and we are back on track. The government's tax proposals are facing a lot of backlash from different stakeholders in the country, with many of them saying that it is the best way to revive the economy, but comes with a lot of burden to the citizens. The opposition leader Raila Odinga has also come out guns blazing towards the Kenya Kwanza government, saying that the tax proposals will double up the cost of living more than the way it is right now. Of course, we'll be getting more about that in our bulletin tonight, but right now you can begin sending us your SMS feedback through our SMS number appearing on your screen. Comment on our live Facebook video and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Imani Television. Let's get our top stories tonight.
Northern Kenya is our priority in the sense that they are vast lands with great and huge potential for food security. If we can open up that area by doing roads, connectivity to electricity, and then dams and irrigation, we would, in a very comprehensive manner.
Kila mfungwa katika taifa letu la Kenya lazima awe na kitanda na awe na mattress yake.
Those businesses are the heart of the hustling nation. They are struggling. The same businesses are already being taxed by counties.
The turnaround time for even delivery are wanting. We are talking about 2 to 3 weeks delivery. We are talking about refill rate of about between 55 and 70%.
Professional counselors and psychologists who have requisite training to respond efficiently to disasters of such magnitude as Shakahora in the Kilifi County.
All right, let's dive into the details of our stories tonight. My name is BARASA SAENYI and Phyllis Miriko Arunga is our sign language interpreter. Now, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua this morning held a meeting with the British High Commissioner to Kenya, Jane Marriott, and discussed areas of collaboration between the United Kingdom and Kenya. The Deputy President lauded the UK as an important trade and development partner for Kenya. Gachagua said partnerships with nations like the UK is critical in critical projects towards sustainable solutions to the challenges facing Kenya and the Horn of Africa at large. He said that the interventions come in handy in the face of climatic change in building and strengthening the resilience of communities living in the region while advancing Kenya's best interest and the world at large. Marriott's tenure is set to come to an end in July after serving in the role for 4 years.
The lands are vast, and they're also very productive. If we can get it right, we secure so that there is no insecurity, and then we go to irrigation. Then the problems of this country in a very sustainable manner are sorted. Again, as High Commissioner, you have pointed out, we need sustainable interventions, long-term, so that we don't have to deal with emergencies all the time. Northern Kenya is our priority in the sense that they are vast lands with great and huge potential for food security. If we can open up that area by doing roads, connectivity to electricity, and then dams and irrigation, we would, in a very comprehensive manner, address our challenges in this country. And that is the way to go. And we have lessons learned. Israel, the Middle East, all these deserts, through technology and very serious and prudent interventions, have been converted into suppliers of excess food for local consumption and for export. So we really want to appreciate the contribution of your government in trying to open up northeastern Kenya and northern Kenya, and we don't take it for granted. And for us, as we grapple with the challenges of the effects of climate change, we are convinced that northern Kenya and northeastern Kenya should be a priority in terms of opening up the area so that we don't take emergency food relief to those areas, but we receive surplus from those areas to feed the rest of the country. You know, that is the way we look at it, and we are doing everything possible. So we are very grateful for what you are doing in that area and the rest of the country. We don't need to overemphasize on the relationship between Kenya and the United Kingdom. Our history is a long one and a good one. And that is why even the president found time to go and attend the coronation of King Charles. And we enjoy good relations, and your stay here for the time you have been here has contributed immensely to.
Now, away from that, the Azimio la Umoja Coalition Principal Raila Odinga has today addressed the media about the new tax proposals by the government. Raila has hated hard on the proposals, saying that they will jeopardize small businesses in the country. Odinga has also added that the taxes will raise the cost of medicine and generally the cost of healthcare in the country. Let's take a look.
That is, tax based on sales is applicable on sales worth 1 million Kenya shillings and above, and it stands at 1%. Now, Kenya Kwanza wants this tax applied on sales from as low as 500,000 Kenya shillings. The tax is being raised from 1% to 3%. The taxation will be pegged on gross sales, whether the seller makes profit or not. The biggest casualties here will be small, medium, and medium-sized businesses. Those businesses are the heart of the hustler nation. They are struggling. The same businesses are already being taxed by counties. Our stand is that this tax should remain at 1% and should be applicable on sales of 1 million shillings and above. Buried in this bill are proposals to remove from zero rating to tax-exempt pharmaceutical products, agricultural pest products, and even fertilizers. Maize flour, cassava flour, and a number of other types of flours are being moved from zero rating. Transportation of sugarcane to factories will now attract VAT. The VAT measures proposed by the bill effectively raise the cost of medicines, healthcare, and food, including that of locally produced.
Now, in a bid to alleviate the overcrowding crisis in prisons, Interior Cabinet Secretary Kithure Kindiki announced a comprehensive plan aimed at reducing the prison population by 50%. Speaking today during an inspection of the ongoing reforms at Mwea Prison in Kirinyaga County on Monday, Kindiki emphasized the urgency of addressing the issue and ensuring that prisons become centers of rehabilitation, empowerment, and preparation for reintegration into society of the prisoners. During his address, Kindiki expressed the ministry's commitment to collaborating with the judiciary and other stakeholders to facilitate the decongestion process, recognizing the importance of imparting practical skills to inmates. He acknowledged that the workshops within prisons but raised concerns about their substandard conditions. By implementing the plan, Kindiki aims to improve the overall living conditions and opportunities for prisoners, making sure that they acquire technical skills that can aid in their reintegration.
Tumekubaliana ya kwamba si vizuri wafungwa wetu na wale wako rumande kulala katika hali mbaya, na kwa hivyo tumeanza mpango wa kuhakikisha kila mfungwa katika taifa letu la Kenya lazima awe na kitanda na awe na mattress yake. So depending on you, PS and CGP, to spearhead that process to make sure that we succeed. The government will partner with the private sector and well-wishers to ensure that in the next few months, every prisoner in this country will have one bed, one mattress, one prisoner.
All right, away from that, the deteriorating of mental health has in recent times been imminent in the country owing to the challenges of life, especially in the wake of calamities. The most recent one being the Shakahola massacre, where bodies of people who are believed to have been in a cult continue to be exhumed. According to the Kenya Counseling Psychological Association, a lot more needs to be done in regards to taking care of the mental well-being of the victims of religious extremism, the families who have lost their loved ones, as well as the first responders in the ongoing exercise of exhumation of bodies at Shakahola. Let's listen in to these psychologists.
Kenya has more than 20,000 professional counselors and psychologists who have requisite training to respond efficiently to disasters of such magnitude as Shakahola in the Kilifi County. There is a critical need for the survivors to be put under the care of mental health experts, and particularly counselors and psychologists and psychiatrists, for a period of time where the survivors and their families are going to benefit from services of counselors, so that we can prevent possibilities of mental illnesses like the post-traumatic stress disorders, that is a PTSD, depression and anxiety disorders.
We have a disaster preparedness committee nationally under KCPA, and we are out there to assist the communities to work with the disasters.
All right, moving forward, a section of the clergy is now calling upon the Judicial Commission of Inquiry on Shakahola killings to move with speed and unearth the matter which has so far seen more than 100 human bodies recovered. The 8-member Commission of Inquiry, chaired by Lady Justice Jessie Lesit, is expected to inquire into deaths, torture, and inhumane and degrading treatment of members of the Good News International Church associated with the controversial televangelist Paul Mackenzie. Let's listen.
The government should be more proactive through its machinery because it is able to know what goes on from the grassroots. Waumini wetu waweze kujihadhari sana na kusikiza na tusidanganywe na wale wanaojiita ni manabii, lakini lazima tuwapeleleze kisawa na kiroho.
Kamati nyingi zimechaguliwa na baadaye ripoti hatujui zinaenda vipi. Tunaomba hii basi itakapomaliza kazi yake basi ikashughulikiwe vizuri na mambo haya yasitokee tena. Kile wakati umefika kuwe na udhibiti kutoka kwa serikali.
The Honorable Minister of Health, Susan Nakhumicha, has issued a recommendation that the Transportation Department lift all restrictions that had previously been put in place to control the spread of the COVID-19 virus throughout the country. In her address to the public in the Sikhendu region of Trans Nzoia County, the distinguished minister conveyed that the esteemed World Health Organization, WHO, has officially declared COVID-19 no longer a global pandemic. Additionally, Minister Nakhumicha expounded upon the fact that the funds that has been initially allocated for COVID-19 will now be redirected to combat other diseases such as the outbreak of cholera, which have been affecting the country in some time. In her address, Minister Nakhumicha also pointed out that there has been a decline in diseases such as respiratory ailments in children and other forms of illness owing to the heightened level of hygiene that was promoted through the implementation of COVID-19 measures.
Up to the last week of April, our tests, then it was 0.5% of all the samples that we tested, only 0.5% had COVID. What that means is then that it gives us an opportunity to lift the measures that we had put in place in terms of restrictions. So now passengers can travel freely. Even the general population, now they can mingle and do anything else freely. We no longer have to wear masks. We don't have to use sanitizers all the time. We don't have to wash hands. We don't have to keep social distance the way we are doing. But that doesn't mean that we should not take personal safety and hygiene, sanitation seriously. So at a personal level, because what happened during COVID, because of these measures, many diseases went down. Like upper respiratory diseases in children went down, diarrheal diseases went down. It's because the general population was now practicing hygiene and sanitation.
All right, that story from Sikhendu takes us for a short break here on News Hour. But remember that Imani Television is one of the participants in the Kuza Awards, and to vote for Imani Television, send the word Kuza, K-U-Z-A, to the number 15601 and follow the prompts for voting in order to vote for Imani Television. We are taking a short break and we'll be back with many stories.
Kituo hiki cha Imani Radio na Imani TV kimeteuliwa kama station bora ya utangazaji katika tuzo la Kuza mwaka huu na mamlaka ya mawasiliano nchini. Kwa hivyo tufanye tuwe washindi kwa kutupigia kura. Chukua simu yako, andika neno Kuza kwa herufi kubwa na utume kwa nambari 15601 15601. Utachagua lugha na ujibu maswali manne. Andika Imani Radio kama station ya radio ya eneo lako unayoipenda na Imani TV kama station ya TV unayoipenda. Andika Star Times kama huduma ya TV ya kulipia unayoipenda. Kumbuka, kwa kutumia huduma hii hautozi chochote. Kwa hivyo ambia rafiki atupigie kura. Andika neno Kuza na utume kwa nambari 15601 15601. Tufanye tuwe washindi. Imani Radio na TV, tunajenga imani yako ndani yake Yesu Kristo.
Welcome back to News Hour. Now, healthcare workers under the Kenya Medical Practitioners and Pharmacists as well as Dentists Union, that is KMPDU, in the northern region of the Rift Valley have strongly opposed the proposal to increase the tax levied on their salaries while they are in the dire need of a pay rise. Led by their chairperson, Dawin Murundu, the doctors expressed their disappointment in witnessing the cost of living continue to rise while their salaries are delayed. In a strongly worded statement, the healthcare workers of the KMPDU union in the northern Rift Valley region have made their concerns clear. The chairperson, Dawin Murundu, spoke on behalf of his colleagues, highlighting the urgent need for a pay rise to alleviate the financial stress faced by healthcare workers. The proposal to increase the tax on their salaries was met with great resistance, as it will only serve to compound their already difficult financial situation. Now, moving forward on still on matters health facilities across the devolved units are facing acute drug shortage due to the delays in supply of drugs by the Kenya Medical Supply Agency KEMSA. The Council of Governors Health Committee now wants the national government to urgently inject more funds to KEMSA in order to enable the institution to stock adequate drugs to meet the county's demands. The Council of Governors Health Committee Chairperson Mudhomi Njuki, who as well doubles up as the governor for Tharaka Nithi, has said that the delay has left the counties at the mercy of private medical supplies who are selling the drugs at exorbitant prices. Speaking during the opening of County Health Directors Workshop, Governor Mudhomi Njuki said that there is need for the national government to pump more resources to KEMSA as it pushed for more prudent use. The Director for Family Health in the Health Ministry, Dr. Andrew Mulwa, also called upon the collaboration between county and national governments for the implementation of the Universal Healthcare Program, also known as the UHC.
Our counties are suffering. They are suffering because they refilled it for KEMSA. The turnaround time for even delivery are wanting. We are talking about 2 to 3 weeks delivery. We are talking about refill rate of about between 55 and 70%. So why is KEMSA in such a situation? When we talk to them, they tell us that there's a big gap in KEMSA. Big gap because during COVID, they bought commodities that today are still lying in their stores but cannot be sold.
Financing for primary healthcare services guaranteed through a publicly financed primary healthcare services, the details of which will come as we go down, but we want to change so that primary healthcare services from community level to level 2 and 3 services, both at private, public and faith-based facilities in your counties, are offered through a capitation-based financing, specifically for
All right, we head back to the story that earlier on I had told you that we'll be getting back to it, and if we can just go back to it right now, is that the healthcare workers under the Kenya Medical Practitioners and Pharmacists Association, that is KMPDU, from the Rift Valley, have strongly opposed the proposal to increase the tax levied on their salaries while they are in dire need of a pay rise. Led by the chairperson Dawin Murundu, the doctor expressed their disappointment in witnessing the cost of living continue to rise while their salaries are delayed. In a strongly worded statement, the healthcare workers of the KMPDU union have made their concerns clear. The chairperson, Dawin Murundu, spoke on behalf of his colleagues, highlighting the urgent need for a pay rise to alleviate the financial stress faced by the healthcare workers. The proposal to increase the tax on their salaries was met with great resistance, as it would only serve to compound their already difficult financial situation.
An employer is supposed to support a worker. This government is now turning against the workers and is putting the burden of responsibility that is supposed to be on the employer, on the employee.
That we call upon the government to immediately engage workers' representatives in the public service sector so as to agree on the best way forward.
because we are going to call the mother of all strikes. Yes. The burden is too heavy for us.
Tumeona serikali imetoa processes ambazo zinaonekana kuongeza kupeana nyongeza ambao tunakatwa kwenye mishahara yetu, na jambo hilo kulingana na hali ya maisha hivi sasa, gharama ya maisha imepanda. Tumeona wameweka housing levy at 3%. Hiyo housing levy before, wakati walikuwa wanaizungumzia, ilikuwa kama optional, ambaye angetaka angekuwa, lakini sasa tumeiona compulsory, na hii housing levy inachukua 3% of the basic pay. Tunaona NHIF kwa sasa wanataka kuongeza yale malipo ambayo tumekuwa tukilipa zaidi ya mara 4, na kuongeza huko kutatuathiri, kwa maana mimi kama mfanyikazi kwenye idara ya afya bado NHIF haijaniridhisha, kwa maana kuna zile pesa ambazo madaktari wetu walikuwa wanalipwa kwa procedures ambazo wangefanya. Nitatumia
Now, away from matters health, Imani Radio and TV Ministries is celebrating its 18th anniversary and a 1-year anniversary for the Imani Radio Baringo radio station, respectively. As a ministry, we organized an event to celebrate the anniversary on 6th May, that is last Saturday, where we joined the entire Imani Ministries funds. The event took place in Pemwai, Baringo County, where our fans from different parts of the county as well as the country at large gathered to celebrate the anniversary with us. Here is our reporter Wechuli Samuel with more details.
It was the 18th anniversary of Imani Radio and TV Ministries in Kitale and a 1-year anniversary celebration of Imani Radio in Baringo consecutively. Here, the congregation firstly were embraced by being entertained from different church choirs germinated in different parts of Baringo County. However, Imani TV and the radio staff members, both from Kitale and the Baringo radio and the TV station, were not left behind, as they were also recognized by the community for their best production in different programs and fields, and the congregation eager and urged to identify them.
Professor Kangogo, Lawrence Kangogo, ambaye pia yeye ni yeye anafundisha katika Imani Radio. Alikuja asubuhi saa 1 mpaka saa 2 alafu ya mahali. Pastor Matthew pia.
Also, fans and pastors who normally participate in feeding the nation with the word of God, warmly they expressed their overwhelming experience and their love to Imani Ministries as they promised to strengthen their relationship with Imani TV and radio countrywide. Leaders and the communities at large urged the residents all over to be part of Imani Ministries since the media station strengthened people spiritually. As the sign that a child was born and still strongly exists and living healthy, each and everyone in the celebration was warmly to receive a piece of cake to mark the party and also to celebrate heartily.
Kuna keki ingine hapa maridadi. Tena tumeandaliwa keki ya mwaka moja ya Bemwa Baringo, first anniversary Imani Radio Baringo. Kwa hivyo tunashukuru sana, na hii cake ni gavana angekuwa hapa angekata ili iwe ni bondage ya Imani na Baringo County.
Reporting for Imani Television from Baringo County, Samuel Wechuli.
All right. Thanks so much, Wechuli, and happy 18th birthday for Imani Radio and TV Ministries. That was awesome, actually. And that marks the end of our news tonight. But before I leave, Imani Radio and TV Ministries invites you to the night vigil this Friday. It is on 12th, where we'll be having our night vigil, the one that we normally have every second Friday of every month. So we invite you. You can come along with your friends, relatives, family members, so that you can get blessings from God. We also extend the same invitation to any church that will wish to participate and lead us through the praise and worship segments, to also reach us through our number 0718-020222 for more details and also for programming and arrangements. That's it for news now. For News Hour, my name is BARASA SAENYI. Our sign language interpreter tonight is Phyllis Miriko Arunga. Have a good night.
Thank God, thank God, thank God for the transforming power of faith. Nature forms us. Thank God, thank God, thank God for the transforming power of faith. Nature forms us. Sin deforms us. Let me give you the best definition of sin that I know of. It's coming short of the glory of God. You know what sin is? It's just everything in us that's not like God. And there's a lot of it, isn't there? There's a lot of it. I mean, don't go strutting your stuff, folks. We have all sinned and come short of the glory of God. Now, don't you stretch yourself out in the gutter alongside some old hypocrite and say, I'm longer than he is. So what? No promise too hard for God.